My Facebook. Yes.
There you go. Yes. All right. We are here with Sabriya. Sabriya, you are doing amazing, awesome work. And I think that of all the times that this is really important work is during and after a pandemic when people are more burnt out than ever. I have been watching the articles coming in and even just the articles on how burnt out doctors are, how burnt out professionals are. Like the rates of burnout right now in the workplace are higher than ever. Sabriya, why is this? Why is this? Why would the burnout rate be higher than it has ever been in the workplace?
Well, because everything is blurred together possible. I mean, we're at a point now where people don't know if they're coming, where they're going. They don't know if they're working, are they hanging out with family? Everything is an absolute blur. And so we're trying to work through that. We're trying to help people create those boundaries and create that harmony between work and life because some people are going back into the office, some people are home. I mean, there's so many different factors in play. You got your children home that you never had before, and you're like, whoa, I never seen my children like this before. I never got to meet them like this. I ain't planned for all that. So there's so many factors that have come into play that have changed the dynamics of truly life altogether.
This is very true. And in a time of uncertainty, instability, and then you don't often have the resources that you usually do of being able to get together with people, of going out and just, getting a hug, having that physical touch be part of our life. These are things that were built into our life before that all of a sudden stopped. And what I've seen is really just an accumulation over time, right? Like at first we may have been doing okay. Yeah, this is stressful. This is scary. But then it's like this whole new level of wave just started to rise of this fragility of our mental health and burnout. And it's been a big stress.
Yeah.
And I know that I've seen this in my work in terms of even with old traumas being brought up, emotions out of control. And even on the addiction side of things, more relapses, more overdoses than we've had. I really want to say ever. Like I'm seeing studies showing an increase in 30% of overdoses recently. It's just been.
I'm not. The thing is because for the first time in life, the world has paused, and we actually have to deal with ourselves. I mean,
no,
realize that dealing with ourselves is a whole job in itself.
Yes.
And the pause of the world and the pandemic, I mean, it's not a surprise that all the traumas and the thoughts and things came to people's minds because they're literally having to face the things that they did not have to necessarily face when we were in the speed of life and things were happening. Now we have to deal with it. Now we have to figure out what do we do with it.
Yep. Oh my goodness. This is so true. Because I remember when I was going through my health crash, and part of that was not being able to move. I had just broken my collarbone. And so here I was, frozen, not able to move, not able to exercise, not able to keep myself as distracted and busy as I usually did. And I had to deal with myself. And I realized there are a lot of things about myself that I don't like. And I have a lot of uncomfortable feelings coming up, and I don't know what they are. I just know that I don't like them. And that's really kind of what started me on my journey of, all right, let's do some work here. Let's figure out what this is coming from.
Yes, healing isn't pretty, okay? Like we need to stop glamorizing it. It's not a pretty process. There are some fun parts, but it's hard. It's grueling.
It is work. It's work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kind of relate it back to the law of physics, right? Where the law of physics says that when you have a mass that's moving in a certain direction at a certain speed, if you're going to get it off of its path and on a different trajectory, you've got to bring energy into that system. Otherwise, it's going to just continue down the same path. And so this is very much what we do in our life with our mental health, with our emotional health, with our relationship patterns. We have adapted to our life experiences, right? And that's really what this whole summit is about, right? Like, how does our body adapt to our life experiences? What are those stressful negative life experiences? What were those overwhelming life experiences that our body adapted to? And it has this new way of doing things now that really no longer serves us. And we don't want to continue doing that, but now we don't know any other way. And so then we reach burnout, right?
100%. And that is like once we all say, if you do the same thing and you expect different results, that's insanity. And as people, we have to realize that We can't be the way that we were before. It
Yeah.
won't work in the new world. We have
Yeah.
to recreate
Exactly.
techniques of self-care. We have to recreate how we treat ourselves, how we treat others.
Mhm.
Everything has to fundamentally change, but for the better, because we don't want to keep rolling backwards.
Exactly. And one of the things that we talked about in your full interview on the summit was something that I was not expecting beforehand, but we discovered that in our process of helping people get out of this burnout and overwhelm, we actually start with the exact same process. You've developed a process for corporate wellness and how to build in that connection in the workplace. It's so important for burnout. And I realized that in my work with my families and the adoptive families back when I was doing family challenge camps, that you start in the corporate world, I start with families with the exact same process, which I think is so cool, because when we really look at where do you start with all of this, there is a sequential way to start, and you can't jump with at the end of the outcome that you want. You have to start here. And so in your full interview, we lay out all of those steps. You actually give us some really practical ways to build in connection and resilience with people who are burnt out now, which I thought was really, really neat.
Thank you.
I know. So we've got your full interview on the Biology of Trauma Summit. The summit is starting on Monday. I know, Monday, July 19. And we've got you on day 5 of the summit on the whole topic of burnout and mental health. And so excited for you to share your expertise with the audience.
Thank you, Dr. Aimie. I'm so excited. You totally really need to watch, because I help you just start from where you are, because that's what I'm all about. We don't have to have it all figured out, but we got to start from where we are. So I appreciate you allowing me to be on the summit, and I cannot wait for people to listen.